Moldova's ruling pro-EU party wins election marred by claims of Russian meddling. Igor Gross, the leader of the pro-European Party of Action and Solidarity (PAS), speaks to the media during a press conference the day after Moldova's parliamentary elections in Chisinau, Moldova on September 29, 2025. Moldova's ruling pro-Western party is on the track for a decisive victory and a fresh majority in parliament after a crucial election riven with allegations of Russian interference. Before the vote, President Maia Sandu warned that Russia has spent hundreds of millions of euros in a bid to sway the result, seen as crucial for the former Soviet state's future path to the European Union. But with more than 99% of votes counted only Monday, Sandu's Party of Action and Solidarity, called the PAS, had secured more than 50% of the vote, far ahead of the pro-Russian opposition Patriotic Bloc with under 25%. If confirmed, the PAS will retain its majority in Moldova's 101 seat legislature. Igor Dodon, head of the Patriotic Bloc and Sandu's predecessor as president, called for protest on Monday outside the parliament in the capital, Chisinau. Before the vote, Moldovan authorities warned of the risk of a disruption and strict violence once the polls closed. Former Moldovan President Igor Dodon, a member of the pro-Russian Patriotic Electoral Bloc, speaks to the supporters protesting outside the Electoral Commission after the polls closed on Sunday. Casting her vote Sunday, Sandu said there was a lot of stake for Moldova and that she hoped the country will have the chance to continue to strengthen its democracy, to protect its space, and to continue its EU integration path. Sandu is targeting EU membership for Moldova within the next 5 years and warned of dangerous consequences if Russian influence prevailed in the country which bordered Ukraine. Sandu, a Harvard-educated former World Bank official, won the presidential election by the landslide in 2020 and her party swapped to power the next year, pledging to clean up corruption and improve governance. Its progress, was hampered by the security and economic crisis, which spilled over from Ukraine after Russia's all-out invasion in 2022. Moldovan President Maia Sandu talked to the media outside the polling station after casting her vote in Chisinau, Moldova on September 28, 2025. Although Sandu warned outspread praise for helping Moldova secure EU candidate status in 2023. Some voters were frustrated with the pace of reform and spiraling gas prices after Russia cut off supplies and Moldova sought new procurement deals with Romania. But Sunday's election means both Sandu and her party have twice won elections by commanding margins despite the widespread claims of Russian meddling. Moldova has demonstrated that Russia can be defeated against all doubt and even in the hugely asymmetric fight. Oana Popesh Jampir, director of the Global Focus Center think tank, told CNN. She said Moldova had repeatedly shown an incredible level of commitment to the pro-democratic, pro-European future, and that the EU now needs to show it is as serious about the enlargement as the candidates are. Many Moldovans expressed the hope after the result of the election became clear. We hope there will be change because everyone wants things to be good in Moldova for us to have jobs, good salaries, so that people don't have to leave the country. 43-year-old Chisinau resident Mariana Ozog told Reuters. Another resident of the Moldovan capital, 73-year-old Emilia Lupascu, said she voted for PAS because I want Moldova to move towards the Europe for people to live well. Accusations of Russian interference. Ahead of the Sunday's election, Sandu accused Russia of attempting to sway the vote to install a government more pliant to Moscow through a vast disinformation campaign. Moldova, which won independence as the Soviet Union clumbered that was subject to the tsunami of Russian cash, cryptocurrency, and disinformation, in a campaign that aimed to bolster pro-Russian opposition. Nicolae Popescu, Moldova's former foreign minister, told CNN last week. Moscow has denied any interference. On Sunday, Moldovan National Security Advisor Stanislav Scrieru said a string of incidents on election day included cyber attacks targeting electoral systems and the government website, false bomb threat against the polling stations abroad, and illegal transportation of voters to polling stations. Moldova's foreign ministry said the polling stations in Belgium, Italy, Romania, Spain, and the US were targeted by bomb threat as part of the Russian Federation's assault on the electoral process in the Republic of Moldova. Moldovan Prime Minister Dorin Lețean said the cyber attacks were launched on infrastructure related to the electoral process, including the Central Election Commission's website and several polling stations outside the country. All attacks were detected and neutralized in real time without affecting the electoral process, he said in a post on social media. Moldova's sizable diaspora was crucial in securing Sandu's re-election in 2024, but analysts said Russia campaigned to demotivate those more liberal voters this time. The European leaders celebrated PAS victory on Monday, including Ursula von der Leyen, the president of the European Commission, who congratulated Moldovan voters. Moldova, you've done it again. No attempt to sow fear or division could break your resolve. You made your choice clear. Europe, democracy, freedom, she said in a post on X. Our door is open and we will stand with you every step of the way. The future is yours. In a joint statement, the leaders of France, Poland, and Germany said they commend the Moldovan society and authorities for the peaceful conduct of the election, despite the unprecedented interference by Russia, including with both vying schemes and disinformation. Despite the various forms of manipulative interference to destabilize the country, Moldovan voters have shown once again that they will not allow their future in peace and freedom to be taken away from them, the statement said. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said he was delighted to congratulate Sandu on the very important victory. Russia's subversive activities and constant disinformation have now worked. It is important that Moldova has been effective in defending itself against the threat, together with all those who have helped, Zelensky said. Leaders of other countries, including the Netherlands, Georgia, Latvia, Norway, and Czech Republic, Denmark, Croatia, and Estonia also heralded the election result. Despite the jubilation in March of the Europe, Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov was less triumphant. As far as we know, some political forces were declaring their disagreement and talking about possible election violations. That's what we are hearing, Peskov told journalists on Monday. From what we see and know, we can state that hundreds of thousands of Moldovans were deprived of the opportunity to vote in Russia because only two polling stations were open to them, which was insufficient and couldn't allow everyone to vote. That's all we can say, he added. The story has been updated. CNN's Anna Chernova and Stephanie Halas contributed to this report.